Hi, I'm Dan Music, and in this short video we will look at the circuit board of a Model J operator with a Logic 5 control board. The power for the board comes from the main power source right here. You have your green ground wire, your black L1 and white L2 on the 120 volt circuit. The power goes to the back behind the board to a transformer which reduces the power from 115 volts to 24 volts. The secondary of the transformer gives us the power for the board. So you have these two wires coming from the transformer, the secondary of the transformer, 24 volts. Now the board further reduces the voltage for the control circuit to about 5 volts. So you have your 24 volts here, and we will work our way through this board. Down below, we have a wiring harness that controls the RPM sensor, the limit switches, the photo eyes, and some other components. So this is for the control circuit. This black wire here is for the radio control receiver, which would be attached up here, the antenna for the receiver. So your antenna goes to that, and then it will receive the radio control. There is a built-in receiver on the board, but separate transmitters would need to be installed, which don't normally come with the operator. So you have your 24 volts coming out, you've got 5 volts coming out here for your different controls. You have a switch here, has different functions. For example, on B2, you can open the door. This is traveling in the open position. You can stop it. And you can close it with momentary contact. Often we'll get calls because the board is set on the C2 setting. What happens on the C2 setting is you open the door, but in order to close it, if you just push the close button, it just starts and stops. So on the C2 setting, you have to hold in the close button for it to close. This is an extra safety feature that comes in handy a lot of times. People will often, on loading docks, push the button, walk away, and not check to see if anything's under the door. They don't check to see if a truck is coming. And you have a lot of accidents. There's also on the circuit board, and this comes in handy if you're working up high or working on a trolley operator, and you've got your ladder or lift up 20 or 30 feet from the push button station. So you can just push the button. I'm going to move it back to B2. You can push the open button, and the door runs up. And push the close button, and the door runs down. You can also stop it you need to stop it. You can do this when you're setting the limits. It comes in real handy because you don't have to go down to push the button and check the limits at the bottom. You can set them from up here just by pushing the open, close, and stop button. You also have a function that a lot of companies use. It's the timer function where the door will open and close automatically. Right now we have it set for just a couple of seconds, but you can set it for 5, 10, 30 seconds, any amount of time. That allows for example, in a parking garage, it will open, allows the car to get out, and you can give them 30 seconds to leave. I will switch this back to B2. The manual for this operator is available online. You can find out what the other functions are for if you have specific needs. You also have these lights here that tell you where the door is in its travel. Right now it's in the closed position. If I push close, it won't close. If I push stop, nothing happens. If I push open, if I stop it doesn't show anything, but when it gets all the way open, the open light comes on. There's also a button here for programming the radio control receiver. Over here is your terminal strip for the different functions. You have a timer, you have a master. Some of the wall stations have a little light here that comes on, and you can run that to the open switch from the master. The open, close, and stop buttons parallel the open, close, and stop button on your wall station. The wires that connect to number 2 and 3 are the wires that come from the disconnect. So if you pull the chain on the disconnect, it will disengage the motor, and then when you try to push the button, nothing happens. It will run momentarily, but the chain doesn't turn.